We recently had the chance to interview Annabelle Hackett, a sales leader with over 10 years experience. Annabelle has worked for companies such as Indeed, as well as Transformate, which is Ireland's first female-led tech unicorn. In this interview, Annabelle spoke to us about a number of topics, ranging from how to add value using reciprocity, why results matter more than sales methodologies, and also how to reframe a rejection into a win. So here are 4 top tips which you can also implement in your business.
To me, in my experience, it doesn't really matter what sales methodology you're following, but what's key and what's harder to do is how do you actually take that theory and apply it in your day-to-day. It's not just about the theory, it's about really implementing it in practice and sharing these best practices as a team, as a business, learning from each other a lot, listening to, conversation, phone calls, meetings, learning from even the highest performers on the team. What did they do differently? And I think that to be a good salesperson, you have to be out there, of course, talking to your prospects, to your customers. But what's often underrated is the connections that you build also internally. Sometimes just sit back, relax. What's your story? Who are you? What do you have to offer without necessarily needing to have something in return? And that feeling of reciprocity is not new in sales. But when I start thinking about how we can implement that in conversations, sometimes it can be as easy as, hey, do you have your computer in front of you? Well, I'm going to just show you, if you have 5 minutes, how to, do such and such steps. So you're adding value, you're giving advice, you're giving of your time. And so naturally, that person is going to perhaps have their guards down. And that's when we talk about building trust. It's a good starting point. And then fostering those relationships of, okay, well, this is what I'm offering to you. Not necessarily I want your money and this is very transactional, but two-way street. Sales is much more than sales and picking up the phone. It's also about really working closely with internal stakeholders to align, to make sure that when you do pick up the phone, that you're clear on, okay, what's it that we're offering and why, to get through the gatekeeper and continue having those conversations. But over time, with that consistency and making sure that you position your product in a way that appeals to your target market, you will build your network. It's certainly not something that can be done overnight, so there's no secret or magic recipe, but it's making sure you're in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people, so that it's very deliberate as sales efforts go. If I've had a conversation, let's say, with you, and the answer is no, I'm not interested in your product or your service, it can still be a win, believe it or not, if I know why, if I know who you're using, and perhaps that means that our competitors are doing something different that we're not. So that's perhaps food for thought for internally to have that discussion with the product team, just as an example. Or perhaps it could be a no because we're targeting the wrong company, the wrong segment. So it's all information, it's all insights. So I think when you have that approach of growth mindset, that's where you can really be successful in your role long term.